For the fans, by the fans. Welcome to the only Angels postgame show that keeps it real, win or lose. No filters, no fluff, just raw reactions right after the final out. The Golden Stamos is polished up and somebody's about to take it home. A clutch hit, a game-saving grab, or just straight up hustle. We see you. But if you played like trash, you're getting the dreaded Nacho Night Award. We saw the missed calls, we saw the blown saves, the clutch moments, and the disasters too. Your comments are front and center, and yeah, we read all of them. Wanna let loose? Call in and sound off live. No scripts, no suits, no spin. This is raw, this is real, this is where the fans take over. This is the Heady Postgame Show with Todd Fox. For the fans, by the fans.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Wiener, 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 next to another wiener, 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 two wieners alongside yet another wiener party, wiener party, party salty, wiener wieners, nice and soft, non-erect wieners. Flopping wieners, flopping wieners, dangle wieners, dangle wieners in my bag.
Stop, please. I can't take it anymore.
I can't take any more either. Hello and welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield post-game show with your host, Todd Fox. That is me. Happy, wonderful Wednesday, I guess, as the Angels once again, we talked about it yesterday, 21-7 when scoring 4 or more runs. They have a record of, I believe, 4 wins and 23 losses when not scoring 4 runs or more. 4-23. That's Colorado Rockies like baseball. And tonight they put up a powerful 5 hits. And we'll get into everything that went on or what didn't go on in tonight's game. We'll also talk about who the hell is still an Angel fan or even a pathetic Halo honk at this point who still believes that pitching is a problem. Because if you think pitching is a problem with this team, I will invite you in on a link right now, and you can get on here and you could tell me and fight for your right, or fight for your right to party. No, fight for your argument in why the pitching is the problem. Because on nights like this, and again, scoring less than 4 runs this year, the Angels are magically 4 wins and 23 losses. So you explain to me why this team needs an ace. Again, you can get freaking Dontrelle Willis in his prime, AJ Burnett, Nolan Ryan, Andy Pennant, Roger Clemens. It doesn't matter. Scherzer in his prime. It doesn't matter. Randy Johnson. It does not matter. They can't hit. They have all the talent to hit, yet they won't hit because it's the approach. How many of you have watched the games of the Yankees, all 3 games? I have. I watched all the games, every last single one of these dreaded games, prior and likely after this one. My point being is the Yankees lived primarily off the outside corner. And yes, you could say, well, the framing, what a great night for the framer of the catcher. He was framing everything. He was getting all the calls. He was making calls. The umpire, fuck the umpire. You could say, oh, the umpire was trash. He's giving the corners. He's giving everything to the Yankees. Your point? No, seriously, your point? I don't care. I don't care if the umpiring's bad. You've seen 9 innings of it. Your starting pitcher left you in the game along with the bullpen. You mean to tell me at no point in this game were the Angels going to adjust and realize, duh, it's on the outside corner. Maybe I should go the other way. All night, Wayne Randazzo with that stupid-ass little high pompadour haircut and Gooby trying to fit into an Ohapi jersey going, hey, 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 look at me, I'm strong. I look like Hulk Hogan. Hey. All they were saying all night was got to hit a home run. This guy has this many home runs. That guy has this many home runs. He's hit a home run against the Yankees before. Hey, a 2-run blast right here, and the Angels are in the lead. Solo shot here, home run there. They're basically telling on themselves as an organization. These Bally's / FanDuel announcers are literally telling you what the franchise values and what they want to do. Because if you can't understand what they're saying on the broadcast, or you actually don't pay attention and you just focus in on the baseball and you ignore the Deos that are bothering Halo Luke right now, and you just say, what's wrong with this team? And you just watch the games, you put the channel on mute. It's easy to see. Even with Soler with 2 hits tonight. Just single out Logan O'Hoppe. This entire series, just single him out. You heard Trent Rush in the postgame show before I got home last night, if you were waiting for me, and thank you very much. He came out and said, well, hey, that I don't blame O'Hoppe on that one. The pitch was up in the zone where he likes it. And that's just one he got under. Really? The pitch that he got under last night was damn near head level. And I believe I have it right here. Or it's letter high. So you mean to tell me that's his hot zone? Off the plate and up? That's just wanting to drive the ball. That's all you're trying to do when all you needed was a hit last night. And if you're trying to drive the ball, wouldn't you want it around the middle of the plate? Why are we uppercutting so much? Because that's what we're told to do. There's no freelancing on this team. There's no, hey, per bat, I need you to do this because right now we're in the 7th inning and it dictates this. No. Analytics say, Soler, you swing for the fence. Moncada, you swing for the fence. Just look at O'Hoppe's at bats. And you can say, Todd, no, you're stupid. You don't understand. Those pitches were on the outside corner, way off. They were, and you sound like Gooby. They were 2 balls off, like they were the length of 2 baseballs, like the size of balls, and John Stamos off the side of the corner of the plate. It doesn't matter. They were getting those calls all night. Whether it's the umpire being ass, whether it's the catcher just framing really good. You've seen it multiple times. Why aren't you then reacting to it? Well, Todd, they can't swing at everything. Well, they sure damn try to. And if you're swinging like O'Hoppe, you're never going to hit the ball. Why do you think with the right-handed hitters we have that are power hitters, like your freaking Taylor Wards, you know, who shouldn't be swinging like he does, your Jorge Soler, who shouldn't be swinging like he does, and now Logan O'Hoppe and throw in Zach Neto, why do you think they're popping up the right field? Because they're uppercutting the swings and they're just hitting it off the end of the bat. They're not extending the bat out, the barrel of it, and timing it right to then push it into right field. They're not doing that. They're continually, and all you're going to do when you miss that bat on a pitch that far outside is hit weak ground balls to short, like we saw a half dozen or more tonight, or pop the ball into right field, like we saw a half dozen or more tonight. We saw a double to right field, which split the gap. That was a proper way to fight off that pitch. If you want to change the narrative of the game, you know how you do it? You start beating the other team, because this baseball, they will pitch you. If you're going to be giving them and playing into their way of pitching all night, they're going to throw the same shit. You think that they're going to just feel sorry for you after 5 innings and be like, you know what? I feel bad for just working the outside corner and they're not taking advantage of it. I feel really bad for their fans. Let me start throwing them some inside pitches. Let me start throwing them some stuff over the middle that breaks over. No. They're going to attack that very zone until you prove you can beat it. And if you can't beat it, well, fuck, look what happened for 9 innings. And then here's the thing that I want to argue about. While you guys in the comments will likely say, because I haven't looked at them yet, will likely say, well, Todd, damn it, you're wrong. You missed out. This umpire sucks. He has a, strikeout to ratio, or he has a bad zone and blah, 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 and he's rated. I don't give a shit. That's your opinion. Fine. I'm not saying it's wrong, but for me, I don't give a shit. You need to beat that zone that he created. You need to beat that strike zone in that area on the outside. You get them to stop nibbling on the outside corner if you start working the other way. If you start beating them to death, going to right field, well, guess what? They won't throw that pitch no more. And then guess what? You're going to get a cookie or two. And you're going to get more stuff inside and over the plate. But no, we can't do that because that would be adjusting. Stuff that they did on the road trip. When they come home, can't do that. You got to hit those home runs. Hey, Trent, what do you think about those home runs? I think that those home runs look really good. And if the Angels could just wear those Hawaiian T-shirts that are coming out June 6th, be sure to be here. But if the Angels were to wear those nice-looking shirts, look at these Hawaiian shirts, I guarantee you they hit more home runs. No. Enough is enough. You could have won all 3. You could have swept the Stankies. You could have swept them. Instead, you play down. And the one thing get back to my point that makes me more mad than the strike zone and them not going to right field is the fact that Ron Washington's lazy ass did not get up one fucking time and argue anything that happened tonight. Not once. He just sat there and was like, well, I guess I was a strike. Never got up, talked to the players. The most I saw him do all night was when they worked that walk with Soler in the 9th inning. He gave him a butt slap and a high five. That's it. Way to motivate these guys, Ronnie. Way to get these guys going. I still don't fucking get why they continue to just play into the opponent's favor and into what they're doing. I just don't understand. Like all of us can go out there tonight and go into the press conference room and talk to the actual 4 or 5 reporters that actually cover this team and tell them, hey, do you know why we suck? This is why. And I guarantee you, most of us are pretty much on the same page. And the sad thing is, this isn't last year's team where you could see 99 losses on the wall. And it was, and you could tell that this team sucked in every aspect, defensively, hitting, pitching. The only thing they were good at literally last year was the bullpen. Literally, that was it. But this team, I can't shit on the pitching whatsoever. Even when Kikuchi gives you 3 to 4 shaky innings, you know what he didn't do? You know what they always say in football? When you have a team that gives up a lot of yards, but then they shut down the opponent when they get to the red zone, all of a sudden the defense mans up and they look really good and they hold the other team to a field goal or they stop them. Everyone's like, man, that's a bend but don't break defense. I love that defense. When they got to hunker down, they do their job, right? Well, that's why I feel like the Angels have on their pitching staff right now. They bend but don't break. Kikuchi walks 2, loads them up, gets out of it. He only got Goldschmidt to fly out for the sacrifice fly, only run of the game. You mean to tell me as a major league fucking team, you can't score more than 1 run when given 9 innings to do so at home? You were given 9 fucking innings. And the Yankees go to a bullpen that is sus at best. Do you know that guy looked like a Cro-Magnon in the 8th inning? He looked like a god. He should be selling Geico insurance. I've never seen a more deformed pitcher. He looks like he was on steroids or he was like a freaking, I forgot what it's called in mythology. God damn it, he's a caveman. He's a fucking caveman. What was his name? Was it Hamilton? Yeah, Ian Hamilton looks like a fucking caveman. He's out there sweating like it's 150 degrees too. And he made mincemeat out of this lineup. He looked like shit. And there we go. Solaire's golfing at a ball. Taylor Ward's standing there watching 3 pitches go down the middle. That is some shit offense. I swear to God, if I ran this team, it would be film study. It would be just tweaking all of these hitters and giving them individual objectives every game. And guess what? When it's the 3rd inning and we've scratched across nothing at this point, we're going to do something outside the box. We're going to bunt. Then if we get somebody on, we're going to hit and fucking run. We're going to try to steal a base. We're going to hit the other way. We're going to do shit. We're going to mix it up. We're sitting there in the box, predictable as hell. And you wonder, oh, why didn't they score? I don't know. I don't know why they didn't score. You know, we just got to ride with it. We got to keep doing it. We got to keep, things are going to bounce our way. We just got to keep going. No, you don't have to keep going. Nothing's going to bounce your way. Nothing's going to change. When it changes, when you change. When it changed, we got good things that happened when you adjusted. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. Go down the fucking list of all the sports you want. Name one. Every one of these sports, even soccer, it's a game of adjustments. If you're being defended one way, guess what? You switch it up to try to get better, scoring. You try to change your own fate, and they do the same thing, and it's a game of adjustments. How many times have you heard that with all sports? That basketball game is a game of adjustments. They shut down the threes. You had to go on pick and rolls. In football, you start running the ball. It's working. The defense adjusts to you, so then you start opening it up with a play action pass, right? Same thing with baseball. They start pinching you on the inside corner. Go with it and pull it. Or they start going the outside. Go with it the other way. Game of adjustments. Instead, you sit there like a bump on a log and do nothing all night. All night. And you're proud. You're proud of this team? How are we feeling, Angel fam? How are we feeling? We feeling good about this during the game? And how about this? How about during the game and you get a strikeout, right? And again, Angels player looking, but Wayne Randazzo with that bad pompadour saying, wait, man, that was on the outside corner. How can you call that? They've been calling it all night, stupid. Players should be ready for that. Or they're quiet when they go and the 3rd out is made and they don't score again. And then all of a sudden they come back and they show you a montage. Hey, this team is playing really good. Here's a home run right here. Here's a home run right there. Look at this play last week. Look at this play. Hey, they're going to Ohio. I'm ready to tap out at this point, dude. It is just mind-boggling how, again, used to say they're blowing games in April. And then what did the Angels announcers and the Angels players and the Angels people would say? Hey, don't worry, AM 830. Don't worry, guys. April games, it's still early. There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight. That's where we got that from. When the Angels were like 10 games under before the All-Star break.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Late July, 10 games out of the wild card.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Half the roster's on the IL by August 31st.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Final game of the homestand, fan appreciation.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
That's your propaganda prime minister, a.k.a. PP Roger Lodge. But that's what they do. And you can't tell me, you can't tell any one of you guys out there and gals that this is cool. Because, again, if this team was coming off a playoff run, and let's just say they've been out of the playoffs for a year or two, I'm okay with this kind of stupidity. As bad as that sounds, I'm okay with stupidity at times. Your franchise, no matter what sport it is in, will hit a rough patch and you'll struggle and you'll have just a stupid ass year, no matter if it's injuries, players, controversy. One of your franchises will go through a 2 to 3 year span where you're just like, fuck, this team's embarrassing. And it happens. It's happened to me in every one of my sports that I follow, right? Including the Angels. But when you go through a decade, and you've actually put together a halfway decent team, note I say halfway decent, which is better than what we've had in the last few years, there's kind of expectations here. Not playoff grandeur or nothing like that. We're just feeling like, hey, we should be winning some of these games. We deserve to win some of these games. I pay hard-earned money to go to these games. I get my family some food at the games, or I get them food before the games if I don't want to pay Artie, or we park over at Noble for free and we walk in. And, you know, we have to do that big walk because we love the team. We fucking hate the owner, but we love the team. We want to support the team. We love the players. It's good. It's fun. It's a tradition. It's family. Yes. So guess what, fucking Artie? You owe us fucking winning. You owe us something. So again, this isn't the first year of this shitstorm analytics bullshit. It is year after year after year since before the pandemic. It has started and it has not gotten any better. They can't even get, and I don't believe in analytics. I really don't. I think now it's weaseled its way into baseball. Fine. But I would have a time and place for it, and it would be balanced between the coach's gut, his feelings, and the analytics information. But I wouldn't rely 100% like we do. And we don't even get the good analytics guys. We get the fucking Nimrods who never played the fucking game. And if we do get ex-players, they were ex-players like Paul Sereno, who never hit his weight in baseball and struck out a grip. We had Marcus Thames was so bad he had to go to Japan. Now we have Johnny Washington, a career 188 hitter. Oh, gee. Wonder why these guys can't make contact. Gee, wonder why they strike out so much. I have never quoted a scripture on this because I never get religion or politics in this baseball channel. Never. But I will break my own rule just to make a stupid ass point, which most of you probably won't agree with. But I'm going to do it just to do it, okay? There's a scripture that says bad association spoils useful habits, which means the useful habits that these players use to get to the game, the bad association from our coaches have fucked it up. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm so glad I didn't go tonight. I was this close to going. So angry. I'm so angry tonight. But Todd, why are you so upset about a 25 game winning team out of 55 games played? Why are you so mad about a 25 and 30 team? Because honestly, in my heart of hearts, this team should be 32 and about 23 right now. We have blown or giving about at least 10 games away to the opponent. At least 10 games. At least. Now let's go over the numbers because we're by the fans, for the fans, for the fans, by the fans. 1 run, 7 hits by the Yankees. No runs, 5 hits for the Angels. Schmidt goes to 2-2. Quality start for the Yankees. 4 runs or no runs, 4 hits, 6 innings pitched. Only 4 strikeouts and a walk. Kikuchi, 5 innings pitched, not a quality start. 4 hits allowed, 1 earned run. 4 strikeouts, but here's a key. 5 walks. Bend but don't break defense. Because he allowed all those walks to come on, only 1 came around. Leiter Jr. with that awesome curveball and slider that just stayed on the outside. I mean, it was coming all night. That's what she said. And you should have known that it was going to be on the outside corner. The Yankees actually struck out more times than the Angels, 13. The Angels bucked the trend, still wound up losing, striking out less than 10 times, which they're averaging 10 to 11 strikeouts per game. League average is 5.6 or 5.8, something like that. It's almost 6 strikeouts per game. they mustered just 2 walks. The only guys that did anything tonight was O'Hoppe, and he had terrible swings, but he worked the walk. Soler worked the walk, and he had 2 hits. Taylor Ward is absolutely dog ass. I mean, he got player of the week. He damn near almost got player of the month. But he does this shit. And that's why I'm tired of him too, dude, because when you can't hit the home runs and they're adjusting to you, hey, how about go the other way? How about go for singles? Square the bat up. Stop doing that one-handed free swinging bullshit. Shorten up your swing. Choke up on the bat. Nah, I can't do that. Can't do that. Why do that? The only one that had productive at bats tonight, and he looked 0 for 4 tonight, or he was 0 for 4, was Shonowell. Again, Shonowell's been having good at bats. When he does get outs, he's hitting them right at each other. I think, no, I take that back. The only at bat he had that was terrible was in the bottom of the 8th inning when they finally got Taylor on over to second base, which they bunted. Finally got him over there. He swung on the first pitch and hit a weak ground ball to LeMahieu. But look at this. Look at this pitching right here. Kikuchi falls to 1-5. He has an ERA of 3.6. You got Stevenson making his debut. And don't forget, when the Angels hit into or struck out, and then they went quietly, they came back with, hey, Stevenson, look at this pitcher right here. Hey. Forget about the last inning. Hey. 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. Impressive. Zephyr John, impressive. Striking out. Aaron Judge looking. Reed Detmer's impressive. 3 strikeouts. Burke was in there, 2 strikeouts. That slider and sweeper looked amazing against the left-handed hitters. I will say one Yankee I was impressed with tonight, Trent Grisham. Now, he struck out 3 times, but I don't care about his hitting. I mean, he still got 2 hits and was a little pain in the ass with that little porn star / SA, what do you call it, kind of mustache. But the way he played the outfield all series, it looked like he's been playing in Angel Stadium for years. I mean, he made it look easy out in center field all series long. Angels, of course, went 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Yankees left 10 men on base. So this could have been a lot worse. But again, bend but don't break. And damn, losers of 5 in a row, dude. Had they won 2 of these 5 or 3 of these 5, the Angels would be sitting in somewhere around like 3.5, 2.5 out right now.
What the hell's going on out here?
Marty, I don't know. I freaking don't know. A lot of comments on TikTok, phone lines. If you go over here to YouTube, I'll get you guys on. If you guys stay on a little bit, I will open up the phone lines and you guys can talk. They're saying, why is Chris Taylor on this team? They absolutely did nothing on offense. Couldn't even get a hit. Junior said, can't do shit tonight. Umpire's hungry, had to go eat. He said, this is embarrassing. Also, who's with me? Let's meet on this driveway tomorrow at 4 p.m. You sell the team, man. Absolutely. I'll buy it if I had the money. Mike says, and to make things worse, the umpire was a Yankee fan. Perry needs to go right there. Also, listen to the love, but the yearly listen, I love Trout, but the yearly scheduled injury, it goes from 10 days to 60. It's exhausting. Never thought we'd have a worse record than than these other teams. I get it right now. Herman says, why does Wash never call out the umps or stand up for his guys? I don't know, dude. Maybe he's too tired. He needs memes. Also, how do we sweep the Dodgers and lose 5 in a row? I don't know, man. I really, really don't understand. A lot of people are disappointed over there. Also, Taylor Ward, a future Padre, Bebop says, refs favored the Yankees pitching strike zone all night. We got cheated, so there's still a lot of baseball left to be played, as we'll play this one more time.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
With that being said, we need to get into some awards before we get into your comments, and then we'll get your phone calls in here too in a little bit. If you want to get on the phone lines, you'd have to switch over to YouTube, give us a subscribe, and then obviously I'll put the link in the comments. You guys can just click on that, and once you click on that, you join me right like that. There's no wait time. So with that being said, let's get into the player of the game, and I'm going to be a little generous and nice tonight, dude, because I feel someone deserves it. The Golden Stamos is going to go to my boy. Actually, the Angels pitchers. I'm going to give it to all the pitchers tonight. And I don't care if Kikuchi walked 5 guys. He gave you one hell of a gritty start, and you let him down. Once again, Angels, thank you very much. That batting, that lineup sucks ass. So let's give out the Nacho Night Award, presented to you by 714 Tickets. 714 Tickets. Use HITI in the promotional code. Get 10% off of your tickets. Whatever the price says for that set ticket that say, oh, I want to sit third base side, it's only $15. Well, guess what? It's $15. No service fee, no taxes. Plus, you get 10% off just if you put in the promo code HITI.
Nacho night, oh yeah, nacho night. Pile it up, load it high. Extra shame, hold the pride. Grab a fork, take a dive. Dignity's gone, but the cheese survives. It's the Nacho Night Award.
That monkey is scary coming out the toilet like that, but I will say this straight up. The Angels are ass on offense right now until they switch things up. I do believe they have the talent to score runs. We've seen it, but they refuse. It's like they figured out something, but they don't want to make the stat nerds look stupid, like other podcasts look stupid when they try to do the StatCast crap, and they blame the pitching all the time. Not your Talking Halos. Talking Halos are awesome. It's the other one that's a dumbass. But they always like say StatCast and stuff, and it's stupid. You just need to simplify the game, and the Angels will start winning again. Trust me. Until then, we're going to look like ass, and because they look like ass, they get a big helping of heaping nachos from a toilet. The entire lineup deserves it tonight. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Pathetic. Unbelievable. Let's get in some comments, shall we, as we kick it off tonight. Halo Luke says, Todd, I think I have a problem. I've been hearing Deo in my sleep all night. And again, it is a pretty catchy tune that will stick with you. Deo! Yes. He also says on X, what the hell do we have to do? Why do we have an offensive coordinator, Q Lombardi? Exactly.
What the hell's going on out here?
Then you have Johnny Fired Johnny was a Laker and a Laker yesterday. Yeah, Tim Laker. Mateo checks in with, it's Spritz o'clock. It's time for Botanical Spritz.
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
Paul, thoughts on Chris Taylor over there on TikTok? And I'll just say this: TikTok for Chris Taylor, I don't like it. I don't like the move because you're getting another guy who strikes out a lot, another guy who doesn't have much contact. It's not going to benefit the team. We already have enough players on that, and we just DFA'd Tim Anderson. So again, hopefully next is Newman. You have Mateo says this game was so boring, and we love you long time. Roger's already been talking a lot tonight, which it's this one.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny, and me love you long time.
And one thing before I get into some more comments right here, I just want to let everybody know that if you haven't seen or heard any Halo Joe lately, I do want to express from everyone on behalf of Halos in the Infield podcast and also the network, he's a brother to us. He's family. And I just want to send out my condolences. He had a very tough loss in his family. Lost his mother this morning. Man, my thoughts and prayers, and it's with heavy hearts We feel for you, Joe, and we hope, when the time is right for you to return to the show or come back to the podcast, we're here for open arms, man. But until then, man, big ups to you and your family. We're all praying for you, and we hope that you can get through this. Losing my mom was tough. I know you're a mama's boy, just like me. So I can kind of get where you're coming from, but it's a different situation. And I told him earlier today, man, nothing I say can make a difference. The only thing that can make a difference was when I lost my mom was just getting hugs. And because it just seemed like nobody can make me feel better via words. I think just feeling the comfort of a warm embrace from somebody just made a huge difference. So Joe, when you're ready, I got my hug for you. I think everybody on the network does as well. Hang in there, my friend. We love you and love your family. So that's my shout out to Halo Joe tonight. He's really hurting tonight, so we're all feeling for you, man. We wish we had some better news about your Halos too. We know how much you love the Angels too, man. So R.I.P. to your mother, man, for sure. Mo says the umpire was shit tonight. He sure was. Dan says I blame the umpire, but see, I can't put it all on the umpire. You still got to work it the other way, dude. You got to fight him off. You got to fight those pitches off, man. Botch says, look on the bright side. The Angels are still on a streak. Mario says another loss that could have been a win. Yeah, that just sounds of some Denny Glover big time, man. Because one more loss,
which could have been a win. You call yourselves professionals. I have never, ever seen a worse group of 25 players. You don't think as a team. You don't play as a team. You don't even lose as a team. You all got your heads so far up your butts, you can't even see the light of day.
Exactly. They can't see the light of day. It's so far up their ass. Let's see. Let me get back here to it. Can we get rid of Chris Taylor? I think that's only a matter of time. Don Hammond says, what the fuck was a strike 3 to end the game? That was way outside. Cash for gold, Rye guy says, yeah, I'll do that next game for their freaking lineup for sure. Also, are our posts getting ratings? Are our posts getting ratings? I think so a little bit right now, especially on Instagram and TikTok. Kylo says, changes in the organization got to be made after this one. Randy says, well, the excitement didn't last long. It got me a thong. That's about it. Marty says, not a single damn run. What a joke. Dan also says, I hate the team and their bandwagon fans. They are the 49ers of baseball, meaning the Yankees. I can't imagine how many Grill wants to be DFA'd tonight, Tyler says. Also, JM says, did we have any runners make it to third base tonight? That's a good question. I don't think we did. I really don't think we did. Something feels different. Now a 5-game losing streak. Do I hear 10 or 15? Iron Giant says. Mo says, Kikuchi had a lucky horseshoe up his ass tonight. Frost says, our hitting sucks, but damn, these umps are a joke. Strange 26 says, didn't know Taylor Ward had a doppelganger. Also, Ian says that is good. Our hitting sucks by Joshua. Then you got the Angels overlooked the Marlins and we're focused on the Yankees only to look pathetic as fuck. Yes, Rye guy. Chris M says, cue Rick and Morty. Boy, oh boy, we've been telling them all 3 games this very thing. First off, we want to say this to Johnny Washington because I think we're all tired of him.
You're fired. What?
And then the rest of the organization.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit. So it's together. And if you got to take it somewhere, take it somewhere, Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just got to get it together.
Get your shit together. Also, Marty says, time to buy some extra torpedo bats so that our boy Adele can break them. Difficult to hit when the umpire opens up the zone. No, it's not really, Dan, because they weren't even allowing themselves to then fight off those balls off the outside to then swing at one's inside. You got to hit the ones on the outside, even if they're a freaking, foot off the plate. You got to do something. If the umpire is going to keep giving it, he's going to keep giving it. And Ron never went out there to try to make him change it. So you had both of those. Luckily, I didn't watch any of these games, Mateo said. Frost says, I saw an interview with Johnny Washington on FanDuel the other day, and the dude talked about nothing else but homers. Randy says, if they want to play motherfuckers to not hit, if they want to pay him not to hit, I'm sure I couldn't hit anything off an MLB pitcher. I'll even do the league minimum. Absolutely. The Archangel says, I'm requesting hairy balls, and more hairy balls down my throat with baby oil as punishment for not hitting. Why does it have to go down? Why does it have to go down your throat as punishment?
These nuts. Got him. Got him.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Hairy balls and baby oil. Oh, jeez. Mario says, so cool watching the AL Player of the Week. Watch one right down the middle, call strike 3. Yeah, that was awesome. Hey, good job there.
What the hell's going on out here?
balls, and this team is ass.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John
This
Stamos.
team's ass. Tony C says, unbelievable. What the hell? The Angels need to wear only red on the road trip. We love to hate the Angels. True. We are Angels fans. Ward looks so lost again. He's swinging at everything. And, if they were to wear the red ones and continue to win, I'd say wear those at home too. Balls, and oh no, oh no, we suck again, I should say.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and Oh no! We suck again!
Yes. Also, we need more hits. LB says, Todd, please burn the thong. The curse strikes again. Okay, I'll take care of it. Hey. LV says we're so fucked. Also, this team should be banned from taking showers and putting on deodorant till they fucking win a game. LV says, let's check in on Gavin. Well, let's see what he's talking. He's about midway. No, he's actually over with his show. It might be the after show.
On everybody, my name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut? If you don't know who I am, what's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area. Spent not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 years covering UCLA sports, specifically with the Daily Bruin, writing articles, conducting interviews, all that good stuff. Cracking into a good source of protein with how about a yummy tasting nut? I love the nut. Yummy. Had me fired up.
Okay, thank you. You got me fired up now, too, to finish the show now that you're done talking. Joshua says, it's not the pitching, it's the hitting. Mario says, I'd say we trade them all, but that would be exactly what we actually get. I doubt we get any better. What a joke. Joshua, thank you for the $4.99. LV says, Todd, you think the Halos bounce back versus the shit fucks? I think it's possible for them to win 2 out of 3 because maybe, just maybe, they don't like this being played 30,000 times at the ballpark. Marv says it's everything. It's not, but I don't really think it's the pitching, dude. When you're only giving up 1 run, how's it pitching? That's all I want to know. This is what happens when Chief Yahoo is your owner. By the way, you guys are gonna love that logo. But hey, Anderson got DFA'd. Hey. Tamir 20 says that ump tonight was terrible, but you do deserve to lose if you can't score the more than 1 run. 100%. I love Stevenson's appearance. I did too, Joshua. But again, can he hit? LV says performances like these really make it hard to watch a game live. Absolutely. How are you going to do it? Tyler, thank you for the super sticker. Kylo says it's so silly how we have 1 lefty on the roster. So myopic. Right now, Tyler's just looking and putting myopic behind something. He's like, hey, it's really crazy how they have those on those alternative City Connect days. They have those cream-colored helmets for the nachos. They're so myopic. Fire this whole fucking staff, please. Start with Johnny Washington. Ron can follow his ass right out the door. So he's basically standing there. I can picture Eric right now standing there right as they exit the dugout. Or not the dugout, but the locker rooms headed to their cars. He's got pink slips in his hand, and Eric is screaming at each coach as they leave.
You're fired! What?
Yep. Strange says, imagine if the Halos were on the hot seat with Wally George. Oh, dude, that's a good pull right there. That is a good pull right there. If you don't know who that is, please look that up. That guy was crazy. Dan Rio says, umpires should never have an influence on the game, but you should never let the umpires be influencing the game. That's where the manager comes into play. That's where the players come into play. Marv says it's everything. Also, at least the bullpen was dominant, Marcus says. Also, let's see, I already read that one right there. Jake says, such an awful way to lose, no hitting at all. Though again, Washington does not back up his own guys. If he comes out and yells at the umpire earlier, which is never, that awful call may have never happened at the end of the game. Absolutely 100%. J-Dog says, Angels suck, can't even score one run, no help from the umpires. Chris says on TikTok, do you think Washington will get fired before the season's over? If they truly collapse after a few of his coaches are fired, yes. But until then, they might just let him ride the rest of the pine into or the team into the pine at the end of the season, because I think they have a little respect for him not to fire him. Eric Worth says, all that hard work to get back to 500 just to collapse again. We need a new manager. Ron ain't it. Umpire could call a flawless game. Angels still could have Angels players watch balls go right down the middle. Strike three. He gone. Also, Dan says, true, Jake, shitty umpire, and Washington said nothing. And really, Dan says it all the time, too, that he's never speaking up for his guys. I've seen enough of Chris Taylor already, J-Dog says. I do, too. Jake says, right, he has never backed up his own players. Mario says, we need to beat the curse of the thong, not the umpires. There you go. Todd is on a good mood today. I sure am. Also, we are now since the Todd Fox thong era. I knew that would come back to bite me in the ass. See what I did there? Todd should show his Christmas hams again. No. Yankees looked so mid all series. Makes no sense. Halos are utterly myopic. See, I love the way he works myopic into everything. Nevin would have been tossed. Our pitchers do deserve better. Also, anyone shocked by Renifo laying down a sacrifice bunt? Q Lombardi. I actually was very encouraged by that. When he dropped down the bunt, I was like,
Oh, good for you.
yes, I was. But then what happened? The Angels turned in, left the runner at second. It was just another of a performance. Yeah, but that bunt, it was great.
What the hell's going on out here?
There you go. God, took forever. Also, hashtag trash Halos. Todd Fox for manager. Fire wash. Hell yeah, I'd take this job in a heartbeat. I'd be your Danny Glover. This Yankees team was so mid. I don't know how we didn't take the last game at least. Strange says, I would have given the Halos bullpen the bat and said, y'all working OT. That's awesome. 8-game win streak and now a 5-game losing streak. Classic Angels. Imagine says, nah, the defense be selling the game. Blood Moon says, really? 1-0 the whole game. We can't get one run across the plate. This team is sad. This is worse offense than I've ever seen. No plate discipline, swinging at bad pitches, not doing the little things. Absolutely. Randy says, hey, at least we swept the Dodgers. Then you have, so are the Pittsburgh Steelers still waiting on Aaron Rodgers to get better? Sounds like the Halos. Q Lombardi.
What the hell's going on out here?
Exactly. Also, Mateo said, as an OC, if the passing game isn't working, I pass the ball. I think he meant if the running game isn't working, I pass the ball. Loyal says Taylor Ward is trash. I agree with that. Johnny says so easy a caveman could do it. That's what they've been calling all night. Angel's grandma says, I don't understand why everyone stops hitting at the same time. Everyone, did you see me on the Jumbotron last night? Yes, I did. And you couldn't get them going because they weren't listening. Tony C says you can't blame the umpire. The Angels are going to, in the directions, get rid of Newman already. Ron Washington does not do anything. I wish Ron Washington would show more passion towards his players or for his players. Hayes says, I came to all 3 games and I never was this upset. Fuck! Also, Randy Yaz says, that's called the Angels gonna angel at the Angels grandma. Also, F the umps. And then Todd, I thought you would stick with this team until they were mathematically out of it. I am. I'm not tapping out. I'm just, I don't know. Jedi says we need a new hitting coach. We've needed one for 10 years. Randy says, unfortunately, there's a lot of baseball left to be played. Rye Guy says, don't worry about Trout coming back soon to be our savior. Strange says, analytically, the Angels are not out of the playoffs yet. Also, who's ready for football? Horns up. Hayes says, what if we go on a Cubs, 108 year drought of World Series? Hey, we're headed that way. So this is how it's like to be a Cowboys fan, Mario says. Randy also says, Mario, this is every Sunday afternoon in fall for his Jets. Also, please trade Ward. If he gets hot again, trade his ass. I really think it would be better to move on from Ron and Johnny Washington. I think he forgot how to manage the team. This team is disgusting right now. Travis says the same thing, and I agree over there. Also, fisting the North Star. That's awesome. Already killed Skaggs. Dude has no heart. Only cares about the money he makes from these games. Winning is something Moreno gave up a long time ago. I can't say I can't disagree. Randy's calling me Father Todd. Todd bless you. Thank you, Tyler. Todd, oh, guys, it must have been from the scripture. Hey, Randy, I don't give a shit about your Jets. You're depressed on Sunday as well. I think Todd is having a nervous breakdown. I'm trying not to. Also, I gotta get shotted on let's see. I got shit on it. My bad. I'll shut up. No, it's okay. It's okay. Hayes says, why didn't Chris Taylor tag and run to third base? Because he's not that smart. Also, Todd is so angry a vein is about to burst in your forehead. Kikuchi must be that pissed off right there. Also, Mike Scioscia always managed with his gut. The Rangers have Brett Boone as their new hitting coach, and they still can't hit for shit. That is true, though. Also, that's a lot, Angels, I had to hear all day from work from one of my Yankee co-workers. He's tired of hearing it. F you, Angels, Rally Chris says. Also, LV says, everybody relax. The season starts tonight. Calm your balls.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Thank you. Jedi says, what the fuck? Don't they hire old players like Sam and Garrett Anderson as hitting coaches and bring back Bud Black? I would love for them to do that. This guy named AM830 makes me sick. Please get rid of the hitting coach. Let's start and see where it goes. Todd, please keep up the good work. I love your passion for this team. Smash the like. Yes, please smash the like. It really helps. Peso Pluma was at the Angel Stadium tonight. I have no idea who that is. Justin Option says at least the Angels swept the Dodgers. We need drunk Artie and Terry's racist jokes. We just need motivational message from Trent Rush or Roger Lodge. Well, here's the one from Trent Rush. These guys are trying really hard. And guess what, guys? This game is really hard. Trust me, I've never played it before. I've only watched it, and I cannot announce on it because I'm not that good. But I'm a real buff guy that looks like I've played before, and this game is really hard. So you have to focus in on that and OG's Pizza. Hang 3 lefts and then a right, and you go right into OG's, okay? And then get your tickets from 714 Tickets. The price you see is the price you get. Let me throw it over to Roger. Okay, guys, we are going to talk about the Sports Lodge on a Thursday. Tough series against the Yankees. Yeah, I know they didn't score. So when you call, if you have nothing positive to stay off my phone lines because we're going to talk about the war in Ukraine, WNBA basketball. Who's better, Clark or Reese? I kind of like Reese. And then we're going to talk about UCLA basketball and how my father was best friends with John Wooden. And then we're going to play about 30 commercials talking about all kinds of things that don't pertain to anything Angels related. Next on the Sports Lodge. Oh, and yeah. Survive and thrive in 25. Guys, so pathetic, dude. And that dude, I'm convinced now he's wearing a toupee. I really am. Also, let's see. I have no idea who's Peso Paloma. Courtney says, I feel like whenever we get close to 500, we get scared and we don't know how to act. That's probably what it is, too. It's like we get to 500 and we remember that we're the Angels and we're not supposed to be successful. Jedi also says, to be honest, they get their shit together. They can make the playoffs. The divisions are pretty cool. This division sucks, but they can do something. But win the division, make the playoffs? I don't know. I just feel they can be competitive, and they're just not being competitive. I mean, the pitching's being competitive, but the hitting's not. Clearly, Wash is just here for a final big paycheck before he retires and gets to at least go out as a manager and not a secondary coach. That is pretty true right there. Also, cue the thong song. Tamir 20 says Washington knows he's done by the end of the season. He does not care. Boo Bear's mama says, do you think, honestly, Chris Taylor was brought here to try to be better on a team? I honestly think he was put here to help the team fail. Well, he's not helping us be any better. That's for sure. Was Wash a woke hire in your guys' opinion? I don't know. I think he was under freaking good circumstances hired, but no. Chris Taylor was a Dodger, and the only reason why he's an Angel, and he probably only had us as a suitor because the Angels always take Dodgers trash. Plus, he likes the West Coast. Nope, he's been to Seattle, the Dodgers, and now the Angels. Boo Bear's mommy says super sticker, and I appreciate that right there. Also, Heedy deserves to be supported. I appreciate you so much. Do you think getting Trevor Bauer would make a difference? No, because he can't hit. Again, you can put guys like that on this team, and again, we're not going to win. You got to hit. I barely watched this game after the first inning. I said, yeah, this game is over. Grillmaster says. I will put the link in there. So if you guys are over there on TikTok and want to get in, or if you want to get in right here, we will take you on over here on YouTube because I can't post the link for whatever reason on TikTok. It just will not let me. So that's what that is right there. Mario's, I'm going to fast forward these because you guys are just going back and forth. Condolences right there. I really appreciate everybody right there giving their condolences to our good friend Halo Joe. So I'm just catching up right there. So I do see those right there. Also, Saucy says, if you had told me we were going to hold the Yankees to 9 runs in the series, I would have been pumped. Yeah, then it's like who scores. Woo says, thank you, Todd. Tell us what we need to hear. I appreciate that right there, too. More DFAs coming there by Grillmaster. Jesus says, Angels need to fire Ron Washington. The Angels are a shit museum. Manny says, Ron is running out of money to deposit at this rate. Highlight was a guy running onto the field tonight, Jackson says. Saucy checks in with, I just want the vets to play well enough to grab as much of a bunch of goodies at the break. Botch says, put the Roger rant on the just shut up one. You know what? Let me just do that since I haven't done that in a while. Let me get that over here. Roger goes nuts.
Anymore. I just can't. And they can fire me if they want, but I can't sit around and listen to negative phone call after negative phone call. If you're a so-called Angel fan, if you're a Halo honk for life like me, then shut up with Sosha's got to go. It's this guy's fault. It's that guy's fault. Forget it. Let it go. We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight. If you don't want to say anything positive here this afternoon, stay off of my phone line. The Angels.
Right, guy says, true, Todd. If Ron stood up for his players and got ejected, maybe this team could pull off a win. Grant says, did you hear that Wash says things are looking up in the post game? Yeah. How can you say that? I didn't hear that. I just came straight in here. How can you say that? Grillmaster's saying it's going to be a sweep. You have Boo Bear's mommy saying it's the hitting, the pitching is played good, losing 1-0. J Ram says, hey, Todd, you need to hear that thing again. Maybe it'll cancel out the thong curse again. Maybe that's the Deo you're talking about right there. Maybe I'd take 9. Jeff Mathis, at this point, we'd probably have a few more games if we won with those kind of guys. And Jeff Mathis sucked. Also, this game was so boring. The broadcast should have showed the fan running on the field for some entertainment. A lot of you guys like that right there. A few more comments, and we got our first link up here with Courtney. Winning these games on the homestand was extremely possible. It's so shameful that they didn't get it done. Courtney's checking in before she checks in. To not score a single run means that all 9 players in the lineup couldn't get their shit together. This is no longer a pitching problem. Let's hear from her then right now. Courtney, how are you doing this tonight?
I feel like crying. My heart is broken because how do we go from sweeping the Dodgers and, just having a lot of faith in this team to automatically having it ripped out of our chest and we just play like pieces of trash. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand either. I mean, if you watch this game, Courtney, did you see how many of those pitches were on the outside corner? And they were like that from game 1 with Yarbrough, then you had Rodon doing it, and then tonight's pitcher was doing it. They were living on that outside corner. I mean, if you were still playing, I know it's not the same game, but it is sort of in a way. If a pitcher is throwing in when you played, college baseball, softball, and they're throwing on the outside corner or the inside corner, I mean, what does your coach tell you? What do you do as a hitter?
Fight it off. That's all you have to do. And for me personally, I was a lefty slapper at that point. So everything I'm seeing is down and away, down and away. I made it my craft to sit there and foul that pitch off until I got one that I liked. It is not an umpire problem. I understand that the fans are mad, and I understand that we get shitty calls that don't go our way. But to sit there and look at three pitches, one of them being an outside pitch called a strike, I understand you don't like it. But then to watch two go down the middle, why go up there with a bat? Why you're not even giving yourself a chance to fight it off whatsoever. So at that point, it's a lineup problem. It's a hitting problem. And to sit there and let the umpire control your game and your at bat, go ahead and put somebody else in there then, if you're going to whine and bitch about it.
Facts. Straight up. I mean,
Because I don't understand. Like, are we grocery shopping? Are we just looking? Like, why are you even gonna go up there with a bat? My coach used to always tell me, he was my favorite coach ever. The hardest pitch to hit is the one that you don't swing at. And I've lived through that mantra and for that mantra every day, even when I play slow pitch now. The hardest pitch to hit is the one that you don't swing at. You're not even giving yourself a chance.
Well, let me ask you this. I know you've played in a bunch of games in your career. When you were, say, for instance, in the third inning of a game, or even fifth inning, getting close to whatever, if you played 7 or 9 innings, it's getting, midway through the game. You've already seen it twice, and the pitcher's kind of dominating, but she's doing her thing, and she's working the outside or working the inside, doing whatever, right? But she's got that pitch going to get you out. Do any of your coaches, or do you guys start rallying with each other and say, hey, we got to change it up here. We got to do this, or who makes, in your experiences, who makes that first move as far as in-game adjustments?
I would definitely say, for me personally, I can always speak for myself. I was so confident in my at-bats and myself, especially when I got to my later years in high school and college. I was taking pitchers deep in the count always, and I was a leadoff batter. So even if I did not get on base, but let's just say I had an 8-pitch at bat, I'm automatically telling my second batter and the rest of the dugout, hey, this is what I seen. She's throwing a curveball. She has a drop ball low and outside. She threw that rise ball at me 3 times in a row. I'm the one, or your batter is the one communicating that to that lineup and to the rest of your batters. So I genuinely think we have a communication problem when it comes to our, I don't know if it's a player thing, but for them to make up all these little stupid rules in spring training, like, oh, no phones in the clubhouse, I don't give a fuck. I don't care, because it hasn't helped. Why are you treating them like toddlers? Be men, sit there and contribute to your next batter, contribute to the lineup, make productive outs. I think this entire series between the Marlins and the Yankees, we have not even made productive outs. I think Rengifo got the bunt down today. That's about it. What do we do after that? Jack shit.
Yeah, I totally agree, because I think you were watching the games when we had that 8-game win streak and they were scoring more than 4 runs a game. Everything you were describing, which, again, I can't add much to it because it's facts. I mean, it's the little things that even in softball are the same as baseball. I mean, you want to, even if you struck out, but you saw, like you said, 6 or 7 pitches, you're going to, like, say, for instance, you're the Neto of the team leading off. You're going to Rengifo like, hey, man, watch this, watch that. And, he's tipping his pitches when he does this, or she's tipping her pitches when she's doing that. That's exactly what they were doing on the road trip. And they come home, it's like they're not friends anymore. We're not doing these little dances. I mean, we're not communicating. We're just back up there like, hey, swing freely, swing like it's a video game. Because to me, it's like we were like, it feels like I was playing the MLB The Show on the road, and then I'm like, hey, let me give it to my nephew who sucks at this game and just likes to press buttons. When they come home,
That's literally what it feels like. Like, we feel like 2 completely different teams from that 8-game, streak to now. We literally look like 2 completely different teams. And I know we had some transaction changes. We moved down Paris, we brought up Lugo, but all that like inexperience aside, rookies aside, and all that, it still does not matter because we just look like completely different teams. And when it comes to our at bat approaches, like I'm so tired, and I know I've said this for years, I'm tired of solo home runs. I do not give a flying fuck if you hit a solo home run. What is that doing for the team? I do not care. Base hits and productive outs, score runs, and they win games. That's it. Like our pitching staff, for as mediocre as we all thought it was going to be, our pitching staff is doing their job. And I don't care if one of my bullpen pitchers gives up a home run. That's fine. Our lineup on paper should be able to come back from that, and we can't. We don't. Everybody is just looking for their own personal stats. I don't know if they're trying to pad their own stats or if they're just trying to be individual as players, but we are not playing as a team, and it definitely shows in this 5-game losing streak.
Facts. And you know what else? It's like when they were on the 8-game winning streak, what did you see all the averages rise together? So
Yeah.
if everyone's eating at the table, everyone's eating at the table. Everyone's going to get fed. But if only, like you said, one guy's going out there for himself, the rest of the guys fall in line. Nobody's eating. You know, their averages are all dipping. And you know what the crazy thing, Courtney, you brought up the starting pitching. I'm glad you did. You know, the only team in Major League Baseball right now that has the same rotation from opening day is your Angels. Every rotation in baseball has literally had to either make an addition or a subtraction from the rotation due to injury, due to poor play. And the Angels have gone with the 5 same starters since opening day.
Yeah, it's not our starters' fault. Like I think, don't get me wrong, I know Kohanowitz, I think he had a bad start a while ago. Somebody else I think had an absolutely awful start. But I mean, other than that, I really can't ask any more of our starting rotation than what it is. But to sit there and really have zero, so nobody, absolutely nobody in that lineup knew what the fuck to do today. Absolutely nobody.
Yep.
Pathetic.
It is pathetic. And then one last thing I got for you. I mean, how many uppercut swings did you see on those sliders and curveballs in the outside corner? Like they were all trying to pull the ball. I'm like,
good Lord. I thought I was watching a slow pitch home run derby. Why are you uppercutting like that? Why are you uppercutting like that? You're not. Oh, good God. I could probably just go on a rant about this. We're not taking what the pitcher is giving us. So, like how we were talking about earlier. So, if you know that pitcher is just hugging that outside corner, what's wrong with a nice little single between 3-4 hole? What's wrong with that? I'm sorry. I didn't know that all we could do was just StatCast and see who can hit 110 mile per hour line drive into somebody's glove. I don't understand. Why can't we just take what the pitcher is giving us? What the fuck are we looking at on those stupid little iPads in the dugout? I don't understand. If everybody has technology, everybody's saying like, oh, the iPads are great, StatCast this, StatCast that, fantastic. Who's using it then? Because we look like shit.
Oh, absolutely. And last thing I got for you, because we got Sir Boogie that wants to come on next. You remember a couple years ago when we went and saw the Marlins at Anaheim Stadium in the suite? And you remember the exit velocity off of all their hits was like 40, 50 miles per hour. And you were like, why can't we do that? And you were screaming from the freaking suite.
I was ready to fall off the damn deck. Like, I've never been so pissed off. And I know exactly what game you're talking about because you want to know who started? Sandy. And Sandy got the fucking loss. And I have never been so upset because we did that to him. Oh my God. The fact that we couldn't score, I think we lost 2-0 that day. But really, 2? Like we couldn't help my man's out. And then we gave him Tommy John. So fantastic. But I just don't understand with all this technology, and now you have different names for hitting. We have an offensive coordinator. Didn't know it was football season. That's fine. But I don't give a fuck what name you call our coaches. For as much quote unquote veterans that we have in our dugout, trying to teach the young guys, if anybody's even teaching anything, whatever it is, it's just not working. These 5 games have fucking showed it, because you are not going to sit here and tell me that this is the same team that was on the 8-game win streak. You will not convince me in any way, shape, or form this is the same damn team.
Sure as hell don't look like it, Courtney. It really doesn't. And it's night and day. It is so night and day. And we said that before the Yankee series. Can we not overlook the Marlins? Like, they'll dink and duck us to death, and that's exactly what they did. And then we actually controlled the Yankees. Like, we put a hot Yankees team in their place. They only scored 9 runs the entire series.
We really did. And I genuinely thought this was going to be a bloodbath, and it wasn't. Like, I wasn't expecting much out of this Yankee series. Don't get me wrong. I actually already anticipated a losing series for the Yankee series, but I didn't think it was going to be this close. And that's why I said, I think that's what, at least tonight, makes me so mad. 1-0. Just a big fat 0. We should have just not even put people out there. Just put Kikuchi out there and fucking just call it a day, I guess. Because what did our 1 through 9 in the lineup do? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, if they didn't get that mini rally in the 9th inning yesterday, we're talking about what, 20 plus innings without scoring a run. So
yeah, basically. So I'm frustrated as an Angels fan. I genuinely can't believe what I've been seeing, good and bad, because I didn't anticipate the 8-game win streak, especially against the Dodgers. Do you know how good it felt for us to sweep the Dodgers and have Nick in my house just crying and upset about his team losing? Oh, it gave me so much joy. I've never slept happy before until that sweep.
You should have made some bets with him. You would have had him cleaning the house, doing all kinds of things.
I should have. I wasn't anticipating that. But to sit there and go from that sweep and, and winning, who do we go to after? Sacramento? Like, to sit there and go through all that, and now to have it fall from grace like this, it's just so frustrating as an Angels fan. Like I said, I don't even go to home games anymore. Like, I've been to more Padres games than anything this season, and Diamondbacks games. I refuse to go to Angel Stadium because it's just so hard to watch live. I can't do it. I'm gonna scream. I'm probably gonna get in a fight, and then I'll end up like that dude that ran on the field, and somebody's gonna yank me back, and I'm gonna be thrown in Mickey Mouse jail. Like, it'll be awful.
Yeah, you get thrown out by one of those ushers for sure by just dropping some F-bombs.
Exactly. Tear my ACL again. It'll be great. So
third time's a charm.
Exactly. It'll be fine. It'll be a great day. But I'll get off my soapbox, and I hope we just do better. But damn, this was a tough one.
We need that day off tomorrow, Courtney. We need to just decompress. That's what
we just need to think about all of our decisions, and I guess relearn how to play baseball. That'd be great. That would be a great start.
That would be awesome. Excellent phone call, by the way. Thank you, Courtney, for checking in.
Bye, guys.
See ya. There's Courtney right there. Let's check in with Sir Boogie. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, because one of my AirPods work and the other one does not. So
Did you drop it in your beer can or what?
one of these nights I did for sure.
So you were at the game tonight?
I was at the game tonight. Thank you for noticing.
Thoughts?
Thoughts? Fucking fuck thoughts. I'd rather not talk about my thoughts. How was your night?
Bro, watching on the couch, I think I would have been thrown out at the game too. I was like Courtney. I was dropping F-bombs left and right. It's just frustrating to watch, man. I mean, it's like I can equate it to maybe watching a basketball team. Your team's down 40 or 50 at halftime. It's not even worth watching. Or maybe watching an NFL game and your team is being shut out at halftime, 24-0.
Yep.
But we're down 1-0, dude.
1-0. And after 1-0, it felt like 10-0 the whole time. The whole time it felt like 10-0. And the only thing that made it better was the Yankee fans around me were buying me drinks, which was awesome. This was the only night where I've gotten more drinks bought for me than I've bought for myself. 100%. Not to give credit to any fucked up Yankee fans, because fuck them, you know what I mean?
Well, that's pretty awesome when you're getting beers bought for you and you don't have to put out. That's pretty
They
good.
felt bad. Yeah, exactly, right? They felt bad for me. I mean, I was sagging my pants a little bit, but other than that, it was I didn't have to put out for shit. I went solo. I was trying to give away my extra ticket. Couldn't do that because nobody wants to see the Angels get swept.
Well,
Asked my
literally,
dad, asked my son, asked my brother, asked my girl, asked like several randoms.
I think your girl had I think your girl had enough from last night, and then you asked this random right here, but I was working overtime tonight, dude. I didn't get home till like the first pitch almost.
Dude, isn't it sad? So that's like at least 3 total tickets that went paid for that already just benefited from it.
Yeah.
Right? It's sad, dude. That's sad. He wins. And so I had to buy some beers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to kind of drink the night away. Real quick, I think you know this guy, though. I'm going to promote it. You see it scrolling on the bottom, maxmarketpros.com. If you have social media and it is struggling, if you're trying to sell something, if you're trying to get your small business to the top of the food chain on Google, there's a certified group of team members from maxmarketpros.com where if you just shoot them a link or click on their link, they will consult you and tell you how they can help you be number one in your local business or your social media, get it to reach more people in your genre if you're struggling. Because it's one thing that we struggle here on Halos in the Infield is hitting all of our marketplace people, our genre fans, you know, the age group, all the demographics, I should say. I said way too much without saying demographics. But long story short, to hit your demographics, your numbers, and everything you want to get to, your goals, they can help you get there. They can even build you a website. So hit up Max Market Pros and watch this cool little logo. There you go.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Dude, it's something else. It's something else. It's something else for sure.
Listen, I was talking with Courtney and he had the starting pitchers, right? This is the first time. I mean, last few years, bro, we've been talking about on this channel and when we've gone on other baseball channels and they say, what's wrong with the Angels? And we're like, well, we can never field a rotation that stays healthy, that plays good, that's, you know, consistent. And this is the first year since a social year that I can remember. And even in social years, we've had spot starters. We've had guys go down for a little bit and then, you know, they come back in. Dude, we have not had one spot starter at all. Not one.
Not one.
It's whoever's on the schedule 5 days from now. Well, guess what? They're pitching 5 days from now.
Yep. I think we have like a 6 starter rotation for a month.
Well, yeah, that was last year because Ohtani was being, or not last year before last, Ohtani was being a diva. So
oh yeah. That was before, that was after the social years, but still for sure. I would be an advocate for bringing back Sosha. I would be an advocate for doing anything small ball for sure. There was even some times tonight, bro. It was a 1-run game, and there was many opportunities to play some small balls.
Yeah. Notice there was no trying to steal bases or nothing like that. The times we did get guys on base, it's like, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't think we have a bunch of Ricky Hendersons on this team by far. But we have guys with decent speed to where if they're studying the pitcher, they can get a good enough lead to make it. You can't tell me that freaking because I wouldn't run Nolan Shanawell. I wouldn't run Taylor Ward. I wouldn't run what's his name, Soler. But
But Neto on first base with Shanawell up, it's like just run.
Yeah, exactly. Stay out of the double play. And then even Moncada's got some wheels. You know, you can run Renifo. Renifo's fast. Adele, I know he's been gimping around on that thigh, the swollen thigh all year, but even he's got some wheels as well. I mean, how this team only has 24 stolen bases and 9 of which are in the minors right now. It just boggles my mind, dude. I don't get it.
Yeah, it was super annoying. I am so over watching the Angels not play small ball. That is what got us to the playoff every single year. It'll make the difference. At least this far, it would have made the difference between fucking 2 wins between tonight and last night.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and it's really frustrating. It's really sad. I don't know if Ron Washington is washed up and fucking falling asleep in there. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's super sad, bro. I could go on, but I don't want to just talk in circles. You know what I mean? It's
No, but
just super sad.
no, I get it. But to your point, real quick on Sosha, I would be look. I was one of his biggest fans when he was here. I will admit that I was getting tired of the way it was, but I didn't know that it was a problem internally, not Sosha, and it was a lot to do with their player development and also bringing in players they went on the cheap. But I would love if Sosha were to come back and they cleaned out the analytics and just let him
Yeah,
manage to do a big FU to the rest of the league. I bet you he'd have this team winning in no time.
100%, 100%. Just give them a chance. Give them an off season to like study. Like, hey, this is what the analytics do to your managing skills. Do you want to give it a try? Absolutely. That beats sitting on the fucking sofa. What is he doing nowadays?
I think he's shoot. I know he lives down. I think he lives in Newport Beach, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe someone in the
Jesus.
comments can refresh me, but I think he's down there enjoying some of that Tommy Lasorda Italian food down there because there's a restaurant that used to feed him in Lasorda, and yeah, I think he's enjoying the Italian food down there.
He needs to be with us. He needs to be back with us for sure.
Yeah, I miss him
This is
picking his
sad, bro.
nose. I miss him
Yeah.
picking his nose and wiping it on his windbreaker.
Ah. Hey, can you answer this? Has anybody been thrown out of the game on the Angels organization this year? Anyone? One
Nobody.
person.
Not one person. Not one
Yeah.
person's been thrown out. The closest we saw someone get thrown out was Mancada. And then he proceeded to hit the home run in Oakland.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. After he hit that over the trees, I was like, hell yeah, I'm glad you didn't get thrown out, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Sparkless for sure.
yeah,
But
no one's been thrown out, bro.
almost said hi to if they're listening, Logan and Big Jim's tonight.
Oh, okay.
Walked by. Yeah, they were laser focused. So I didn't wanna interrupt, but thank you for having me as always, bro. For real.
You
It's
got
a
it, brother.
pleasure. This is what makes Angels baseball worth paying attention to. This is what makes Angels baseball like worth this is our coping mechanism, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but I wouldn't be able to manage consistently watching Angel baseball without having this fucking podcast, bro. So at the end of the day, thank you very much for having this thing. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your commitment to this, bro. It means a lot, and that's the least I can say. I can go on and on, but this is dope. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate Sir Boogie. Appreciate those words, man.
Yes, sir. All right, bro.
All right,
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, later. That's Sir Boogie right there. Getting in some more of these comments right here. Grillmaster did say it did feel good to sweep the Dodgers. I finally got my buddy back at work for some shit finally, but then we went on a losing streak. Silent E says it's been a while since I put an article out, but I'll be dropping my analysis. Good versus the suck tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully, some of you might want to stop by the Heedy Substack for a good read, and I strongly recommend you guys and gals do that. For a good read, subscribe to the Substack. It helps us out over there, and read the articles that Silent E comes up with. He has a lot of cool stuff. What do you think about trading Taylor Ward for some guys? I'm all for it, Kevin. But he's got to get a few more hits, and he's got to make it to the All-Star break first. But yeah, definitely check out Silent E's Substack. He's done quite a few articles already, and they're really good. They need a defibrillator on Washington to wake his ass up as a coach. Robert says the staff blows. They are ruining swings by changing it per the matchup that day. Pete Rose said it. Never change your swing, choke up, or move around in the box to change a swing. But the Angels say F it. Yeah, it's lazy baseball, Robert, and you called it. Eric says Nutboy update. He didn't have a pod tonight. The dude is comical. The sad part is there's plenty of people who would love that gig and to rep the Halo. Lazy motherfucker. The other thing about Nutboy and his staff over there is there's so many Halo honks that watch those guys, and there's a lot of Angel fans that are bright and smart that don't know about this page and would probably get more out of it than they would, watching our podcast than watching theirs over there, because theirs is so like just copy and paste crap. There's really nothing to it. Kevin Lynch says, to be fair, he had the same weak stint a year before last year and proceeded to hit 230. That is true. Corey says he would like Skip Schumacher as a manager. Can we get Joe Madden back as manager? He's been thrown out at least 2 times by now. Robert says Chris Taylor's lame ass should have stole before Renifo bunted. Agree. Also, yes, Goings was tossed earlier this year, I believe. I don't remember that. Also, Silent says, since Lodge loves UCLA basketball so much, I wonder if he knows Yummy Tasting Nut and if he's recommended it to John Stamos. Roger always gets out of it what he puts into it. He does. He always gets out what he puts into it. So there you go. And I appreciate the super stickers. I saw that one by Mateo too, by Boo Boo Bear's mommy, Tyler, and Joshua. Appreciate the contributions to the show. We'll have some shirt updates on Friday to close out the month for you guys that have been and gals putting in and helping out the show. And then Robert also says he'll finish up with F it, give me Osmus back. I will take him at this point. He's on the Yankees dugout. We could have took him here tonight. Could have just told him to come back over to a familiar dugout. He didn't get a fair shake here. Who knows what he would have turned into. He only had 1 year here. So we talked a lot about what happened tonight. I'll run down the scores real quick. The Angels lose, and get swept out of their own ballpark. They go on the road to Ohio to play the shit fucks on Friday to start a 3-game series. We'll see how that goes. The rest of the scores around the league before we get out of here are as follows. In New York, the White Sox defeat, actually in Chicago, it's in New York. Chicago defeats the Mets 9-4. In Ohio, the Dodgers beat Ohio 7-4. The Tigers beat the Giants 4-3 in Detroit. Milwaukee defeats the Red Sox 6-5. Rays shut out the Red Hot Twins 5-0. Astros defeat the Athletics 5-3. You had the Pirates all over the Diamondbacks 10-1. Marlins over the Padres 10-8. You had the Cardinals over the slumping Orioles 6-4. You had the Royals over the Reds 3-2. The Rockies lose again to the Cubs 2-1. 9-47 are the Rockies. Wow. The Rangers are 1 hit, so that hitting struggles continue for the Rangers as they were 1 hit at home, 2-0 by the Blue Jays. Nationals all over the Mariners 9-0. That's our only bit of good news. The Atlanta Braves and Phillies were postponed due to rain. So with that being said, that is our show for tonight. I appreciate each and every last one of you guys that is on here. Appreciate Courtney and Sir Boogie for getting on with the links. You two can get on next time we do that link. Shout out once again to our boy, thoughts and prayers out there to our boy Halo Joe. Eric Ward says the last comment, he gets the last word. The reason why this channel is awesome is because you care, Todd. We all give a shit, and this is why those locked on clowns will always suck. You're the real deal, dude. See, comments like that makes me feel so good, Eric. I really appreciate you too, and appreciate everybody that's passionate for this team, because I'm one of those people that have said it over and over. I give the energy that you give me, in life, and I live by that. If you're going to treat me like shit, I'm going to treat you like shit. If you're going to be nice to me, I'm going to go out of my way to be nice to you. And, respect gets respect. And, again, you fans have been nothing but cool to us here on the Heedy Network. And so we're just giving that back to you when we have our giveaways, when we have our tailgates. We encourage you guys and gals to come down. We give away free tickets. We're at the games high-fiving you because we're real fans like you guys. And nothing would make us more happier than to see this team, make the playoffs and be good again. Because it was just so much fun to be an Angels fan in those mid-2000s. Kevin Lynch says, this is my first time on this. This is awesome. Well, Kevin Lynch, I'm going to be live every game. So I'll be back here on Friday. We'll be talking again baseball. and hopefully it's a win. But again, this is what we do. Every post game we're here on the YouTube channel. Our podcasts are there to watch our episodes. We have player interviews with minor leaguers, with major league players. We've had interviews with other team announcers, broadcasters. Was it Lee Hacksaw Hamilton, the San Diego legend? And then also we have our podcast on listening form as well. So if you want to subscribe to those, you can catch us Apple, iTunes, Spotify, all the major ones. We're on there as well. And and right there, Tony C says it'll be in the comments. Silent E is going to put up the link. So if you haven't done it yet, just check out the freaking Substack. Ricky Flores says, from a Dodger fan, it's frustrating to see Artie needs to go, and Perry. You guys need to develop in the draft. Last thing I'll say, I know I say a lot of last things, but definitely this year's draft is the most important draft for the Angels ever. Like, they've got to land some real bangers in this draft, and they got to do their homework and actually draft what the team and the organization needs. They just can't willy-nilly say, well, that's the best guy on the draft still. No, you got to know who you're getting, and this is important to land those at least first 10 draft picks. So with that, everything said, we appreciate every last one of you. We'll be back on here tomorrow, or not tomorrow. We'll have a day off, and then we'll be back on here on Friday, right after the Ohio and Angel game. And yes, I call them Ohio because I don't give them any love for ditching the Cleveland Indians. As a half Native American as myself, I really wish they would have stuck to their guns. All right, have a good night, everybody, and let's break this losing streak on Friday. Enjoy the day off. Decompress. Still love your Angels. Hate Artie Moreno. Good night, everybody.